performance research film, we compare the workability of rawhide Hackamores with Snaffle bits and running martingales. Here's one of our California friends on a horse he has only ridden with a Hackamore for 11 years. Uncle Lee doesn't know one lead from the other, which demonstrates how much this interferes with the horse's agility. He turns left, gets the wrong lead. The horse changes, but the rider reins him to the right. Horse has to break gait and trot into the right lead. Rein left, he again breaks gait and gets the left lead, only to be reined to the right. Changes only in the front feet and goes lobbing around, dragging his hind leads. Then he turns wrong lead and stops. Here he's disunited to lead again. Left lead in front, right lead behind. Rolls to the right, but comes out in the wrong lead. Accidentally gets started off in the left lead, but has to break gait, turning to the right. Gets a beautiful flying change from the right to the left lead, accidentally. Another change done without rider help. Then Uncle Lee turns him to the left, and he changes only in his front legs. This is a typical work of riders who know nothing about lead's essentials. He starts off and turns to the left, which is best for agility by nature's laws. Then he goes right against nature, and the horse has to break down to a trot. But the rider leans the way he wants to go, causing his mount to get the wrong lead, then go disunited. Catches the left lead, but turns wrong lead until the horse breaks gait again. If the rider knew about leads and changes of leads according to nature's laws, he'd be way ahead of the game and would more than triple his horse's agility. Sure want to thank Uncle Lee Berry for making this Hackamore documentary possible. This is Gary Foreman riding Mill Iron Ruck, one of his dad's clinic demonstration horses. This is the third time Mill Iron Ruck has ever been worked on a rawhide Hackamore. But this film shows far more horse agility basics being done on a Hackamore than anyone in the world has ever done before. Starting at the left lead, Gary rolls back 180 degrees and comes out the right lead. Then he rolls back 180 degrees away from the right lead, comes out left lead. These are called rollbacks. Foreman Research discovered and named them in 1945. These are inside rolls toward the same lead and come out in the same lead. 180 degrees, left lead roll, and out in the left lead. He changes leads, then right lead, rolls 180 degrees right, comes out right lead. Rolling towards your lead and coming out in the same lead is called an inside roll. These are inside rolls, but out in the opposite lead. They're called in and outs. At the right lead, he rolls 180 degrees right, then comes out in the left lead. Left lead, 180 degree roll, rolls left, but out in the right lead. Rolling toward the lead is considered toward the inside. If we know and can do basic agility rolls, we can combine them and call their names. Here's a left lead roll back with a 360 to the right. Then another 360 roll to the right lead. Then a roll back to the left, 360 on top of it, out in the left lead. Then a 360 to the left lead, out in the left lead. A roll back, 360 on top of it. And another 360 to the right lead, and a roll back and a 360 on top of it. Now here's a couple of Jimmy Williams specials, rolling toward the lead that you're on, 2, 3, or 4 360s, then coming out in the opposite lead. Right lead, right lead. Now watch him come out in the left lead. Now he goes in to the left lead, rolls left lead, left lead, left lead. Now watch him come out the right lead. Now we do a Jack Brainerd special, a roll back, 360s on top of it. Left lead, left lead, left lead, out in the left lead. Another Jack Brainerd special, roll back, right lead, right lead, right lead, right lead. Now watch him come out in the right lead. You should be able to call the come out just as well as the opposite lead. Miller and Ruck in 15 quarter horse shows won 78 working points in reining, pleasure, working cow horse, calf roping, heading, heeling, jumping, trail, western riding, and even working hunter classes. He's a pretty good polo pony, and at cutting, he can cut the fly specks right out of the sugar bowl. Now let's take a look at his stomps. 3 strides and down. 3 strides and down. 1, 2, 3, hold. Calf roping stops on ridden horses, another Foreman research originally. Gary Foreman on Mill Iron Ruck.
In the senior quarter horse reining at the Colorado State Fair. Sue Baker on Mill Iron Ruck in the Western Riding, Colorado State Fair. Monty Foreman originated the Western Riding contest at the New Mexico State Fair while he was judging the quarter horses in 1948. At that time, neither Western contestants nor judges even knew that Leeds agility galloping phenomena existed. Healing on Mill Iron Ruck, Colorado State Fair. Healing on Monty Foreman's Warrior's Dream, better known as Rowdy. Calf roping on Mill Iron Ruck. Sue Baker in the working cow horse contest on Mill Iron Ruck. This is the second time that Sue Baker's ever been in a working cow horse contest. The cattle were kept down this end right at that gate in front of the horse. Now she's going to get her rundowns and turn him back. No problems. Here she has a problem. The calf heads for where his buddies are down here, and she didn't get far enough ahead to turn him in. Didn't worry her very long. There's her first part of her figure eight. Now she'll cross over and get the figure eight, bottom of the figure eight. And there she finishes up. Sue Baker on Mill Iron Rock. Here's Bonnie Foreman on Clem Kadiddlehofer at Scottsbluff, Nebraska, doing a stopping demonstration during one of his clinics there about 1968. Notice how old Clem builds up his hind legs, gradually coming down. Hind legs get underneath him and finally ends up slide. There again. Bonnie Foreman on Clem. Here's Marlene D., who was the first girl to ever travel with Foreman doing clinics. Here she's on a problem horse that people couldn't get to stop. That was her first stop on it. Just know-how and ability. No rearing back. That's because her stirrups are up front, about 8 inches farther than regular stock saddles. No bulk under the legs. Here's Ben Johnson, who was vice president of the Appaloosa Horse Club for many, many years. This is on his own stud, Patchy Jr. This is over at Grand Junction, Colorado. And during a Foreman clinic over there at Ben Johnson's place. He's trying to learn how to stop Patchy. One of the main things, the difficulty here is, he's pulling each time that the horse's hind feet hit the ground, and that causes the horse to not get up underneath himself very much. You have to learn to pull when the horse is on his front feet, not on his hind feet. And it doesn't make any difference how much muscle that you put in there. It's still, a horse don't stop unless you pull on him just right. See? It's not easy, and it takes a lot of practice on the hind feet again. Hind feet, hind feet, hind feet as he pulls on the rein. I'm out there telling him that he's got to pull each time the front feet hit the ground. It's hard to do. One of the essentials that we do in Foreman clinics is that we ride the problem horses. So here's Foreman on top of Patchy Jr., seeing what he can do with a stop. It's awful hard to take a horse like this and make him stop after he's been stopped the way that you saw Ben stopping him for years and years. Foreman has to feel the horse a little bit before he tries anything. He's done a few flying changes here on old Junior. Roll away. Another roll away. Whoa, JR. So here's his first one. Whoa, horse. Horse ends up on his hind legs a little bit more. He's not used to that. He has to have the habit. And he stays in leads. Not too bad. During the clinic, Patty Haynes, who also traveled with Foreman quite a while. Next day, got on Junior, and look at the stops that she's getting on him now. Look at this one. Foreman's been lucky. He's had 3 top girls travel with him that really knew how to get horses working. He taught all 3 of them, too, from the start. Patty here, he started teaching her when she's 14 years old in Florida. Foreman on his pony, watch that. Whoa, pony. He can whoa. Buster weighs 500 pounds and he's carrying 285 pounds. Bow, Buster. That wasn't much of a bow. This pony was a lot of fun. Jack Brainerd and Byron Bleem gave him to me. Foreman said he had the best string of gift horses that anybody he's ever heard of. Now, Hackamore crosses a horse up, contradicts what you wanted to do with it. It's a funny thing how you can get sold on something that's so damn worthless. For a while there, I thought a Hackamore was so great, I couldn't even go to the potty without taking my Hackamore with me. You pull it on the knot on the right, makes the horse turn his head kind of left. Makes him bend his head a little bit. The wrong way, kind of. And the bottom of the roughness in the Hackamore takes the skin off the side of the horse's jaw.
Ways. Non-leveraged snaffle bits do not do these contradictions. With only a few sideways pull, the skin is already gone. So Hackamore's contradicts sideways turning control and lack of efficiency. Its best lick is when you pull hard on the left rein against the horse's neck, it pulls the knot to the left, which cocks the horse's head to the right. This makes him neck rein with force. Pull the right rein against his neck, this pulls the knot to the right and cants his head to the left. But while you're fooling around with a Hackamore, which has so many incompetent qualities, you can have your sideways guideability working much better with snaffles. See how this horse is disunited behind and flops out behind the other way. It's awfully hard to guide sideways with a Hackamore. no contradiction with Snaffle's. When his mouth is pulled to the right, his natural response is to turn his head right. Pull his head left, and he turns his head to the left. When you coordinate your neck rein with your... Here's the kind of horses we used to break back in the 1930s when I was a young feller. He's a ranch-raised colt. All that's happened to him with humans so far is to be roped, throwed, branded, vaccinated, and castrated. To him, people are enemies. Here's Pete McAleenan, who can get a straddle and handle bronchi horses the best we've ever seen. This is the third saddle on this colt. 3 days before this, he was hazed into our ranch by 2 pickups. Wasn't even halter broke. Just look how easily Pete's guiding this colt and how naturally the horse responds. Reverse, drop to a trot and change leads. The colt comes around so well that Pete lets him go ahead and do a 180-degree same lead roll and out in the opposite lead. How about that? Then bend him around to stop. Now, if you need to get rough with a horse, you can do it without contradictions. Go down the rein and pull his head the way you want him to go, and bend him around. You can pull his head through his fanny if you wish. Some broncs require roughness, but not this one. Now, if you had done this chousing with a Hackamore, you'd have all the skin gone off his jaws. The horse would be confused and mad and hurting. Probably wouldn't move, so you'd have to start knocking and beating on him. But on the Snaffle bit and running martingale, there's no troubles. The colt relaxed and galloping well enough under control that Pete's doing flying changes of leads, using old Foreman's faster functioning fundamentals. The colt's doing as nice and quiet as can be. And that's the difference between the handleability between rawhide Hackamores and non-leveraged Snaffle bits. Thank you all. Adios, amigos. See how this horse is disunited behind and flops out behind the other way. It's awfully hard to guide sideways with a Hackamore. There's no contradiction with Snaffle's. When his mouth is pulled to the right, his natural response is to turn his head right. Pull his head left, and he turns his head to the left. When you coordinate your neck rein with your... Here's the kind of horses we used to break back in the 1930s when I was a young fella. He's a ranch-raised colt. All that's happened to him with humans so far is to be roped, throwed, branded, vaccinated, and castrated. To him, people are enemies.